Hello and welcome to a impromptu, spontaneous, episode, Talking Points. I'm going to be talking with Laurent Philonenko. I always get that, I have a little trouble with that last name. Man I've known for quite some time. Most people in this industry have either met or worked for Laurent at some point, and he's recently changed positions to a new company, and it's called DeepTech Group, a company that I believe is a brand new company. But we're going to find out more about this right now. So let me bring in the we'll call him the pilot. Hello, Laurent. How are you? Bonjour.
Good morning, Dave. How are you? Excellent today.
That's great. Thank you for joining us. I think a lot of people are probably having the same questions I'm having. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about who you are, in case there's somebody who doesn't know who you are. You've been in this industry, I don't know, you're one of the few that's been in this industry longer than me, actually. I think I met you at Cisco. What was that, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
And that was after you had been at Genesis, and so go ahead and a brief introduction. Who are you?
Yeah, that is correct. Look, who I am. So I have been in the space of customer experience, CCaaS, contact centers for the last 25 years, basically. Before that, I was in telecoms, generally speaking. And so you could say on contact centers, having been at Genesis, Cisco, Avaya, and Servion with an integrator, I've seen a lot of changes, and I've seen a lot of customers, hundreds of them on how it works, what do they need, and all that. My roles have been always at the frontier of business and technology. I love technology. That's my background. My academic background is math and physics, so I love complicated stuff, frankly, and I love to solve problems, which I will come back to that when we talk about AI.
So you've obviously got a speech impediment. I think it's called a French accent. And so is that how? Did you get into the industry through? Was it Alcatel-Lucent when they owned Genesis? Or when did you get into this into the contact center?
Yeah, it was when Alcatel bought Genesis, end of 1999.
Okay. But you don't live in France. I know you live in California, and you're wearing. Are those your pilot earphones you're wearing?
No, they are not. They are nice conferencing headphones. It makes a lot of difference, by the way. So yes, I live in San Francisco. I've been there for the last 25 years, basically.
Okay, so I met you at Cisco. Then you went off to Avaya, and you were at Avaya for quite some time. And then I think the CTO at Avaya. And then after Avaya, you've been on the channel side. Really, you've been at Servion. Doing contact center implementations and managed services, and then you recently left. Servion, and this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about DeepTech Group. So, what is DeepTech Group?
Yeah, let me explain it to you, and let me tell you what we are actually doing with my partner and others. Fundamentally, we work with startup and enterprises, because what we've seen, in the last 12, 24 months is everybody wants to go some AI. It comes from the board. What are we doing on AI? And not every enterprise has the skills and the staff to figure it out. Then you have a lot of vendors. The industry is frothing. There is a ton of investments. We can discuss whether those investments are concentrated or not. That's a different story. But you have a lot of technology out there, and how do you understand what is what? So what we do at DeepTech is we look at use cases, we look at new companies who have differentiated technology, and that is a really important point to me. And if you have differentiated technology and a very clear and compelling use case, then you can actually help customers saying, okay, this is the landscape. This is what could make sense for you. We've been vetting that technology, and so you sort of bridge between the needs of enterprises and startups which do not necessarily have all the tools and channels into the go-to-market.
Okay, so you're talking about technology in general, but if I know you as I think I do, you're really talking about the contact center. Is DeepTech specifically focused on the contact center?
Yeah, yeah, customer experience, and really that's where, I mean, by the
Okay,
way,
and so this.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, what's interesting, if you look at AI, you look at where CIOs, CXOs think of when they think about AI, and customer experience contact centers is very, very high on the list.
So we recently were at Enterprise Connect, and everybody was talking about how AI dominated the keynotes and dominated all the conversations in the expo hall. AI was a big topic. Now, I was not at Channel Partners, but some of the people that were at Channel Partners said that no one was really talking about AI at Channel Partners, and so that there's a disparity there, and I think that's the disparity that you're talking about. That the vendors are at one place moving to AI very aggressively, and the channel partners aren't quite there yet. So DeepTech Group is really kind of going after that to fill that gap. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's fairly accurate.
Okay. And so does that mean you're competing with channel partners, or does it mean that you are working with channel partners?
No, we are not in the resale business. Number one. So what I'm really doing is building bridges between enterprise needs and startups.
Okay.
And so hopefully it results in the startup selling something to the enterprise, and the enterprise, more importantly, getting the benefits of the technology of the startup. But I am not a reseller. I do not work with the established companies, because precisely you already have a full ecosystem of channels and agents and all that. So I'm not competing with that segment of the industry.
Now you
I'm,
mentioned your
I am more advisory in nature.
you mentioned you have a partner. Why don't you go ahead and introduce your partner?
Yeah, so my partner is Carl Holzum. We've known each other for many years, and Carl comes from the BPO industry, and that is very interesting because BPOs today, I believe, need to do things a bit differently. The industry was built on the ability to provide agent quickly to customers who have needs. It was also, let's face it, built to some extent on labor arbitrage, but that is changing. And there is a need for BPOs to differentiate more on what can they offer, how can they be more efficient. Maybe you have seen a few weeks ago Klarna saying, "Oh, with our virtual agents, we can eliminate the need for human agents." And the next day, the CEO of a large BPO saying, "Well, don't worry. AI is not going to replace my agents." So we are in the middle of that change, because I do believe that's going to change, and so that there are many opportunities for us to engage.
So are you targeting as DeepTech, targeting more of the BPOs, more enterprises, or are you targeting channel partners as your go-to-market?
No, it's mostly BPOs and enterprises.
Okay. You've got the title managing director. So that to me, maybe it goes with your accent, but that to me says you're not an American company, because American companies have CEOs and other titles,
Yeah.
C titles. European companies have managing directors. So what's with that?
No, actually, it's managing partner. So and
Managing
it is
partner.
and it is
Managing something. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
and it is an American company.
Okay. All right. Very good. So I noticed on your website you had a couple of examples of things you're working on. Let's talk about this one, accent neutralization. Now, this is relatively new technology. I think there's just a couple companies that have the technology that are doing this. At least I've only seen a couple. It's kind of controversial. And so, what is your role in this? Is it implementing it or picking a vendor to work with, or what are you doing here?
So I'm working with a company who does that really well. And let me talk about the controversy that I think I understand. So what happens is originally, it started with avatars. So take my voice and let somebody else without accent replace my voice. And the controversy is if somebody else is talking, that doesn't sound too genuine or natural. So there was some pushback on that. Now, technology has progressed fairly rapidly in the last few months. And what you can do is actually keep the same voice and soften or neutralize the accent. So you would eliminate all the artifacts that make voice sometimes hard to understand. And
Okay.
like you said, I understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yes. It's controversial though um, because of racial implications, right? And so it's one thing to take the French accent out of your speech, but it's another thing to take the black out of someone's speech. And so, are you finding that this technology is being well received, or do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah. So look, it's in earnest, it's early days, but I haven't heard about the racial dimension of it. Uh, what happens? It's more a national dimension of it.
Right. Yeah.
Philippines versus India versus South America, and how do you make your that all more understandable for your
And
customers?
there, it's actually fairly in that context, it's got a fairly positive story that it allows more people to get hired. It could be good for those local economies. The controversial part is much more around sales. You've got to use your white person voice to close the deal, and so that's there was a movie on that. You got to use your white
Yeah.
person voice. So anyway, so accent neutralization, and that goes hand in hand with your BPO focus. Another one that you had on your website was zero trust transactions. This is one of the most. This is one of the worst descriptions of a fairly good technology, because why would I want to do transactions if I don't trust anybody? And so it seems like it's the wrong thing to be advertising. But why don't you go ahead and explain what's going on here?
Yeah, feedback taken on the marketing side. But look, it's when you look at what is happening and the level of fraud that you have today, number one, and then how long it takes for any contact center to verify your credit card, and the implications if something goes wrong. So there is a need for a better way. And there are ways to eliminate all that lengthy process of number one verifying who the customer is, and number two making transactions very secure, so that the agent doesn't know or doesn't see anything about the details of the customer. All the agent knows is yes, the customer is legit, yes, the credit card is valid, and I can proceed and take the order.
Yeah, and how are you going about this? Is this your own technology, or are you just working with various partners on this?
No, it's not my own technology. I don't develop my own technology, but I work with partners on this one. One partner who is well known in the industry is Journey, Journey.ai. But it's it's a very interesting technology, because when you look at the ROI and the savings that customers can realize on that, it's very, very high and very quick, actually.
And Journey, I think you and Brett Shockley overlapped at Avaya at the same time. Is that accurate?
We overlapped at Avaya, but before that, we worked together when I was at Cisco. So we did a lot of interesting things, and we served a lot of interesting customers jointly when he was at Spanlink and I was at Cisco.
Okay. Well, I want to get into. I want to talk about AI in general, and AI is being discussed a lot in the contact center right now, and for good reason. It's impacting almost every aspect of the contact center. But I think there's a concern that I have that most technologies in the contact center are not about customer service, but are about reducing costs. And so the question that I've got for you is, because the AI demos and the AI presentations show a lot about improving CSAT and making a better experience. Once the dust begins to settle, where do you think we're going to end up here with the contact center in the next few years? Is AI really more about improved experiences, or really just about getting by with less cost, maintaining service with less cost?
In this economy, everybody will tell you that buyers are cautious. Growth rates of CCaaS providers have slowed down. They used to be in the high 20% per year, high 20s. Now they are in the high teens. So there is a slowdown. Why? Because people are more careful about their investments. It's we can discuss whether the economy is doing good or bad, but at the enterprise level, my census tell me that market is a bit slower and people are a bit more cautious on their investment. And indeed, in that climate, the number one thing which matters, where you can measure, is cost. That's what people have in their mind. So short term, we are going to see a lot of considerations for technologies which allow you to reduce cost. I have no doubt about that. That's what the discussion at the senior level is about these days. I also believe, transforming the contact center from a cost center into a revenue generation center. We've been talking about it forever. That is no different for AI. So what you will see is, and I posted about that, is I do believe that when you can do things differently and better, people are going to pay attention, but cost first.
Okay. So with that, let me just a follow-up question. This will be the last question. How significant really is generative AI? Because what I'm finding and what I saw at Enterprise Connect was, there's a lot of interest in generative AI. There's a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out, of generative AI. But most of the meaningful demos that I saw were really more of the, I don't know what you call it, legacy AI, the stuff before generative AI. But meanwhile, generative AI is completely radicalizing and changing other industries outside, software development, for example. So do you think generative AI is going to be really significant in the contact center specifically, or is it going to be more of an incremental improvement like we're seeing right now?
If you step back, like you said, you have two AIs. You have generative AI, which is statistical in nature, and what it produces. I mean, we would have said in 2020 or 2021 that we would have what we have today. I mean, that's truly amazing. And then you have symbolic AI, which by nature is more deterministic. And actually, you need both to provide the right experience. You need to be, if you're in a contact center, you want the answer to be deterministic. So you need to have some level of symbolic AI. And what's great with generative AI is how you can provide a new user experience, really. So, you can provide empathy, you can provide all those things which are kind of hard to do with symbolic AI. So I do see a mix of both technologies. And you are seeing generative AI in places where you wouldn't have expected it, but where it makes a lot of sense. Look at what Codex, for example. Codex using generative AI, that is a
Yeah.
very, very smart use case. There is a word which is eaten by packet loss. Boom, you regenerate that word. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So we are going to see a lot of it in different places. But when people tell me, "Oh, I have an LLM-based application which I developed very quickly. That's amazing." I kind of cringe because in production that might not work completely well.
All right. Well, we've gone about 20 minutes. I thank you for your time here. I'm excited about, you left Servion with a bit of a mystery. Something was coming up and you didn't reveal it. And so I was excited when you finally revealed that your next stop is DeepTech Group as a founding partner, managing partner. And so congratulations to you and your partner for launching this firm, and keep us posted on your progress.
Thank you, as always. I will.
Thank you.
Bye.